and I've located all of the waypoints and know, and what it spells out is exactly where the Josephine should be.
What is supposed to be there? Are you willing to tell what's supposed to be there? What was in the waybill or the document? Do you want to say that or not?
The waybill says that you go in 130 feet, it's like so many varas, from the portal, and you run into a thick wooden door. Once you dismantle that, 20 feet past that will be 240 karga of gold bars. Now a karga is 250 pounds. So 250 times 240 in today's gold prices, which is now about $1,200 or $1,300, is $996 worth of gold that's buried at that point. 240 kargas is what the waybill said they had to leave there because of hostiles. They had to leave it. They left there in May, obviously, to get to Mexico City. They couldn't go to Santa Fe because of the Pueblo revolt at the time, in the 1814 era.
So there's that 240 karga of gold, and then there was how many kargas of silver?
680, I think. But silver is only what now, about 11, 12, maybe $20 an ounce. So it's infinitesimally less. It's there too.
We're going to open up what was called the Pueblo shaft. We've changed it from another word that wasn't as appropriate. I've got the key to the shaft. And we're going to go over, I'm going to show you what I just did.
So what are we going to be doing here? You got some cavers that are going to go through and explore this? Tell me what we got happening here.
They're professional cavers. They do search and rescue for like the state. They've got all the safety equipment. They're going to go down and clear, and with all of their air monitoring stuff, make sure everything in there is appropriate, because we're going to have, this one is a lot like the other mines, so then they'll be clearing all the other mines we've found.
So supposedly this is an old Spanish mine, and this gets you down to the 700-foot level, you say, where there's gold nuggets laying on the ground.
That's what we hope. I've just unlocked the gate to the shaft. We put this and this chain on it. And before we did this, the Forest Service, well, I'm not even going to say who did it. But all that was on it was that wire mesh on this. And I was watching a YouTube where there were some 5- and 6-year-olds running around here playing on it. With it wide open, they'd taken it off. I said, they don't cut it, so I came in and put this on it. So nobody would get killed, because it's 54 feet down to the bottom of this thing. And it's an old...
Yeah, this is the first time.
So you come over here, Terry, and you can see what we wrote. I'll tell you right here. My first year of tenure here, I had a Native American appear right over here where we were staying. He'd be my friend. And he said, "Are you Gary Holt?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "I have a message for you from the Native Nation." I said, "What's that?" And he says, "Remember the people who are going to make it possible for you to find things in here, in these mines, that will be beyond your wildest imagination, and just respect them for what they've contributed. They were the slaves of the Spaniards back hundreds of years ago." And I said, "Well, where are you from?" And he says, "I do all of the ceremonial things, the sweat lodges at the state prison. That's my job." And that was back in 2009. So he's probably still registered with the Native Americans. You could probably find out what his name is to confirm that. So I wrote this on the thing. It says...
Hold on. Let me get over here. Okay, what does it say?
So it says, "Remember the people under servitude and slavery that mined for the Spaniards." I was so impressed with him and what he said about respect them and pick your associates wisely and be patient. He told me that, and then he just turned around and walked away.
Huh.
I don't know how he knew I was going to be there that exact time. It was the first day I'd ever been up here for my claims. Now you tell me what it's all about. And so now, how many 11 years later, we're gonna go down and find out what's beyond our wildest imagination.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh,
Did you want to go through any safety stuff like you said though?
You want to go through
Oh,
anything
yeah,
with him?
fuck, yes. Okay, so first off, how is everyone feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
You good?
Excited,
Good, excited?
pumped up.
Do you have any medical conditions that anyone needs to know about?
I get hypoglycemic if I don't eat every couple hours, but
I get too warm, I get a little vertigo.
That's good to know. Okay, which is possible.
And then
doesn't
that
it?
just takes me a little time to cool down, drink some water, and then I'm good to go. That
What about-
doesn't happen too often.
Perfect. What about medications?
Nothing.
No antipsychotics?
Well, there's that, but that doesn't count.
Okay. Okay. Conditions. Medical training. Who's got any?
I have a wilderness first responder SPAR in level 1 through NCRC.
Okay.
OCR,
Who's there?
a little bit of medical.
Okay. I'm an expired wilderness EMT, but it's expired.
Don't touch me if I get hurt then.
I still try
That's
to
What
good.
about
Today.
experience underground? Like what's your training? You've had SPAR.
I've done SPAR, I've done level 1, so I have some like team rescue stuff. I do a lot of vertical though, I mean, yeah.
I've seen that, Rob. What's your training?
I've done OCR, a lot of canyoneering, a lot of vertical mines, different rigging.
Lots of on-rope time.
He's got
Yes.
it dialed in. He's good at
Yeah.
frogging.
Haven't done much. I've been down here one time, but I used to work on the Upper Stillwater Dam, hanging from ropes, 600 to 800 feet, jackhammering and drilling and blasting, and
You're comfortable at height.
so I'm good with heights. I did Little Cottonwood Canyon for a year, almost 2 years. I was just mainly the cleanup guy.
Yeah.
I miss doing that, but as I get older, I just haven't gotten back into it again. But I'm just excited to go and be able to kind of show you guys around and learn from your experiences. Heck yeah.
Let's do this. Okay. There you go.
Any way we can communicate with you guys down there?
Not once we get out of the shaft.
So have you got a time? If you ain't back, we need to call the search and rescue guys.
1 a.m.
They're the search.
1 a.m. Okay, 1 a.m.
On
And
that
who?
note, if we do have an emergency where we need a call out, in this RAV4 right here, there is a red backpack in the back.
Okay.
In the top of that backpack, it's a little tiny bitty GPS thing. It's a satellite communicator.
You just push on that.
If we're in trouble and need help, feel free to just go in there, turn it on, and hit the SOS button to hold it down. So
Okay, if you're not back by 1 a.m., I'm pushing the button.
So there's a caver rule. It's called the 3 rules of 3.
Oh, that's
You go in caving with a group of at least 3 people. You tell at least 3 people where you're going when you're going to be back, and you carry at least 3 sources of light. And if you don't violate those rules, you're usually okay.
Cool.
Usually. And if that isn't enough, something really bad happens.
yeah, just tuck it in.
She lies to the Senate. She goes forward. So that she'll have to lie to cover
Man, you're saying heck with the ladder. I'm free falling, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it again. What about now? What is? Yes. Oh, good. Is it still on? So this rope is rated to 6,000 pounds. Yeah. Our ladder is rated to 500.
Oh,
And so it's a no-brainer for us.
okay.
Plus, we get to look cooler when we do rope.
Yep.
And because it's just fun to rappel under
Heck
ground.
yeah.
Rope is everything.
He's free falling, man. They don't want to use your ladder.
Free fall.
They're free falling, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, here we go.
There you go.
All righty.
Good luck. We'll see you in a few.
Yeah.
There we go. See you on the flip side.
Cool, if you're down there.
Oh, this is awesome! I love my life.
Okay, so today is July 4th, 2020, and we got the cavers from the
Timpanogos Grotto?
Sure.
Sure.
Timpanogos Grotto. Anyway, they explored what they called at one time the glory hole, but now we call it the Pueblos. So they just went down and explored it. Give me a rundown. What'd you see down there?
Well,
Tell me about it.
so it's a relatively small cave. There's probably, what, a few thousand feet?
I'd say a few thousand feet of cave.
Yeah, a few thousand feet of cave. And it starts out in kind of it was eroded in water, and then there's some breakdown, so the ceilings collapsed, filled a lot of the space. What we did is we went to the bottom, and then we basically, as we left, we checked every lead, every possible place that a body could fit. We went in those locations. And if I couldn't fit, we shoved him down there.
Skinny guy.
And pretty much everything. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I tried to push, I was like, I'm not doing this. So, yeah, we found that everything kind of choked off with sediment on the way out. I mean, it's an interesting cave. It's worth coming back and mapping and cleaning up. But it's a natural cave. Looks like it's got, it looks like it's kind of shallow marine depositional environment. So yeah, kind of
a lot of fun.
mid-shelf. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. A lot of good tight crawls. Yeah, kind of goes up and down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pretty box work in there, and there's some. There are some beautiful formations up in the top of the.
Tell me what box work is.
Calcite.
Yeah, so box work is when you have a piece of limestone and it weathers out, leaving these little boxes that kind of stick out of the rock, and it's a differential weathering feature. And there's a bunch of really, really gorgeous box work in there. It's probably the best I've seen.
Yeah. Like Google image search box work. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely a period of time in that cave's history where it was weathering and getting much larger, and then the collapse is the more recent history.
So it has collapsed. You mean the ceilings collapsed?
In places, mostly the ceiling.
Anywhere where you see a big boulder in there, that's something that's fallen from somewhere else. Yeah.
It gets bigger as it goes through that process, or smaller?
The cave, when it collapses, it's because it got so big that it couldn't hold the material above it. So there was a big chamber down there that got filled as it collapsed.
Well, it kind of depends if that collapse shuts off water flow to part of the cave or opens water flow to part of the cave, because then at that point you can start getting that corrosion again and have the cave form. But or if it's shut off, then dries up and kind of But it seems like it's actively growing. Like you can see calcite forming. It's growing formations in a few parts, especially near the bottom. Or no, it was near that pancake crawl where we from the calcite room. Was that the calcite room?
Yes.
It's just outside the calcite room. Then there's the pancake crawl. Yeah.
Pancake crawl is where your belly's on the ground and your back is touching the ceiling of the chamber.
And you're just kind of flopping along.
And it's kind of more wide open on the sides. That's why we call it pancake.
Yeah, you can kind of turn around. And,
You can maneuver, but you're flat the whole time.
So did you detect any air movement or anything, or it was...
No air movement.
I didn't
it's pretty
feel any.
solid.
It felt like it got a little colder near the bottom, but I don't know if that's just because we'd been in there longer.
I mean, I think there was a cold air trap in there.
The two vents were sealed off back in 2007. We're opening those, so there will be air movement because they're connected with the mines that would blow it. We think,
Yeah.
There was a lot of air before they closed that up that would go up the thing. It was a lot more.
Sure.
The reports were.
I mean, you could dig the bottom out, but it would be a pain.
I mean,
yeah.
And to know if it really went anywhere or not, you wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't know.
I mean, digging's rough. The deeper you are, I mean, you got that sediment's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So
and you're hauling.
It's just going to fill up with filled with sediment.
Well, I mean, I mean, if you're hauling if you're digging, you've got to take the stuff you dig out somewhere. Right. You don't take it all the way to the top. You've got to find a place to dump. And you never really know how thick a plug of mud is going to be like that. So.
Right.
And those plugs could, dig in it, it just collapse underneath you.
So you can do it. You can rope up and do it safely, but it's a pain. I mean, I've done it a couple of times, and it's terrifying the first time.
Yeah.
It's safe enough, but it's terrifying.
I think a dig is more promising when you've got air coming from the spot you're digging, you know?
Yeah.
Then you know it's going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. But
I've got a dig that like actively blows.
Yeah.
It blows through like 40 feet of snow every year. Like that's a dig, you know?
Man. Wow.
But
yeah, but I had a great day. Thanks, Gary, for unlocking it for us. You know.
That was definitely fun.
It was more. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was cooler than I was expecting. You know.
It was a more fun cave than I expected. Yeah.
Fun. So thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
So you're coming back if we find some mines we want to explore.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll come back.
Some holes that you want people to explore.
We told them when they come back, we guarantee there's not going to be any body cavity inspection.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to put that in there or not.
It's in there.
In there. You've been talking.
That costs extra. So.
Whoa, hey, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, the as far as logistics go, there's the first pitch, and after that, it doesn't require a harness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot easier once we pulled the harnesses off at the end. Yeah, because trying to go through those crawls with all that gear on
that's annoying.
It's always bad time.
There's a couple small.
Sharp down there when you're crawling.
I thought it was mostly smooth.
Knee pads are a very good investment.
Yeah,
yes.
knee pads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Knee pads and gloves, helmet.
Maybe elbow pads too, possibly.
Sometimes some people like them, but
I personally don't.
I don't need them.
Yeah.
I don't really need them.
With those suits we were wearing too, they're pretty thick, and you bang your elbow and stuff, you don't really feel it so much. So
that's cool. Okay.
The nice thing is it would be easy to get things out of that hole because it's a free-hang shaft, and you could easily pull things up, and it's easy access up and down. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. To get things in.
Tile buckets or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're saying people have gotten out. Gary, you said your son got lost in there.
Yeah.
Was it? I mean, is it lost because you just travel around in a circle, or how do you get really lost?
I'd imagine that it's in that calcite room.
Yeah.
That calcite room is really there's the shape and kind of.
So it's just one big room, though, right?
It's one big room.
You just can't find the way back out.
There are lots of leads in the walls.
There are leads all around, and so if you don't find the right one, the right way out is smaller than the other leads.
Lead is a possible cave shooting off in other directions.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like a passage.
So is it marked what the right lead, the right way out?
It is marked now.
Down there.
You guys marked it?
No.
They did.
Gary did?
Yeah.
No, I didn't mark it. I think that was Gail Rhodes or even Don Johnson.
What's it marked with?
Just a
arrow.
Spray paint.
An arrow.
Yep.
I think Don Johnson did that with John Young.
Okay.
Originally.
And also when we went in there, like right when you shine your light down into that room, they've got a big handheld flashlight pointed directly at the exit, and it really kind of flashes you a bit when your light hits it. And I kind of suspect that they've got it pointed at the exit. So as long as no one's picked up the flashlight.
It's a real flashlight, just somebody's left it down
there.
there.
Yeah, it's a big yellow plastic thing with a handle on the top.
And it's pointing at the...
Yeah. There's a bunch of hand tools.
It's pointing at the exit. Yeah, so...
When you go out of the exit, there's a place you can go to the right. And my son went to the second one, and it was a dead end. And he didn't think the first one was an exit.
Oh.
That's why they were down there for 5 hours trapped, and then he decided to go back and check on the first one, and that was the one out.
Yep.
Well, that can be made.
I did the same thing twice and realized, oh, you dummy, you're supposed to go to the first one. Oops.
And honestly, like, it's not a confusing cave, but if you're not used to going in caves, you can get turned around. You know, if you're not used to the environment.
Yep.
But that's straightforward enough. I think I've got a mental map of it now.
Yeah, I think so.
For the most part.
Bit?
Yeah.
Kinda. I don't know. I couldn't draw you one.
So it's not, from what you could go in, it's not that massive of a cave. It's very, just one way. Just
mostly, like there are a couple splits, but those...
They dead end?
Those dead end,
yeah,
in a few branches, from what we could see,
Are they cave-ins or just pinch?
Cave-ins. It's
Some
either
are cave-ins or sediment.
Yeah. Now the cave-ins might have been on purpose. possibly, if they go someplace.
Well, the thing is, we see that a lot in caves.
Yeah.
It's really,
Oh, do you?
yeah, we see it a lot. You get really excited about a lead, and you push it for maybe 30 feet, crawling on your belly, and then
It just stops.
you hit some breakdown, and it stops.
Yeah.
And then you have to wiggle your way back out backwards, you know, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's the name of the game, you know, it's fun.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah,
It was. We basically seeing an entire cave in a day.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Jeremy's got most of it on his
Yeah.
Yeah.
GoPro,
it's on
so
GoPro.
Really good.
I think you'll be able to see what we mean with how it like, oh, that looks like maybe, we say it goes, that means it goes somewhere. Maybe it goes, and then you push it a little bit, and
Nope, it don't.
It doesn't go.
Yeah.
not quite, yeah.
It goes for 30 feet, then you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people down there, they might find a few that might go.
Maybe?
You know, if
I don't
you
know.
spend a few days or something, there might be some things.
I'd say I
One
looked
thing-
at everything,
You
but
guys, yeah.
I don't know.
We
you
looked
know.
at everything promising.
Yeah, we got into the rooms. You know, we walked the exteriors of the rooms. We looked around rocks and went underneath rocks, and every place we could fit a body, we went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where Jeremy went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, you're pretty close to.
I guess. I pushed a couple of them.
His beard gets hung up.
Yeah, it does.
His beard gets hung up. Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's one reason why we keep saying we should map it, is when you map something, you check everything.
And you're sitting in one place for so long, it's almost like that thing in the ceiling that you didn't see before, you can't miss it now because you're sitting in the same spot for 10 minutes before you move on or whatever, you know?
Like we're watching a movie over about 5 times. You could
Yeah.
you thought you saw it, but you didn't see
Or it gives you the opportunity to say, that is not on the map.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Then you know you've got an unpushed lead. You know?
You know the perspective.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we should map it and we should clean it.
Yeah, I'd be interested in mapping. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
We should,
Just get a whole bunch of cavers up here for a couple of days. Be fun.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
With that said, that's a wrap.
Well, thanks.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Calf party. Let's go.